Hey, beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. Today, I really want to touch on an important subject because I know that it's one which affects the twin flame journey a lot, like way too much. And so, I want to talk about what it feels like to be in separation, and also how it actually is very much like grief. Okay, so if you've ever lost a loved one or you've ever been abandoned by a friend in any way, maybe they ghosted you or didn't contact you or that kind of thing, you'll know what that feels like. So I've got my serious face on today. I don't really think I can joke with this topic, can I? I don't know. If I find a joke in it, maybe I will. But for now, I'm going to be as serious as I can. It's something I've been really wanting to talk to people about for a really long time. And it's because, it's so painful. So let's just, talk about how it feels first to be in separation. Okay, to be in separation can feel painful. It can feel sad. It can feel like you've been abandoned. It can feel like you are coming undone. It can make you feel depressed, unmotivated, maybe anxious. So anxiety might be one. So these are just some of the feelings that you might feel if you are in separation from your twin flame. So we've got anxiety, it can feel painful, you can feel sad, you can feel abandonment. I can't read my own writing. Coming undone, depressed and unmotivated. They're some of the things that you might feel, because it's like a friend. It's like your best friend left you and you don't know what to do. And of course, this happens in the 3D reality. Okay, so I've got a little bit of psychology that I want to bring into the mix now. And although the twin flame journey is all about energy and not about psychology, we are affected psychologically by the journey because we are we are souls trapped in a human body. That's what I like to say. We're souls trapped in a human body. So I want to move to the dating game just for a minute because it's got some relevant aspects here. So this is the no contact rule that some people use in dating. Okay, so you've got those dating videos, where it's like, how to make a man chase you and how to make a woman chase you and how to, be the sexiest thing since sliced bread or whatever those titles are. And of course, we're talking about twin flames here, not soulmates. But this is relevant for both twin flames and soulmates. So in my example, let's say Barbie decides that she's not sure what to do about her twin flame situationship. I'm going to call it a situationship because she's been in separation with him, okay, with Ken, for about 3 to 7 days. Okay, so Ken left, everything was going okay, and then Ken left, and he might have even said, I've got lots of work on, I've got stuff to do, I've got to be at my my auntie's cousin's bar mitzvah on Saturday. So it's going to be a busy week for me. I don't even know what a bar mitzvah is. I just said that word because I've heard it before. I don't know, he's gone to a barbecue, let's say. He's got a few things on. And so the divine feminine, aka Barbie, is feeling kind of, well, she's okay. She's feeling okay because he's just gone to a barbecue and a bar mitzvah, and he should be back soon because he regularly communicates with her fairly regularly, at least once a week. Okay. So what's happening in Ken's mind in this example, because Ken's the baddie, he's going to be the bad guy in this example. He's decided to play a little game with Barbie because he knows about the no contact rule, and he knows that for her, she's literally going to be on this emotional roller coaster ride. So he goes away for 7 days, and Barbie feels calm and assured because normally he comes back within that time frame, because that's a normal thing for that to happen, okay? But he pushes the boundaries and goes for another week, right? Ken, he's not here yet. He's still traveling to me. He's on his way. There's been travel restrictions for Ken because he's been such a bad boy. All right, maybe we can make this a little bit fun. And so now what happens is that the emotion that Barbie starts going through is that she actually is starting to worry, because normally Ken would touch base with her, and he's kind of breaking this pattern. This is a normal communication pattern that she's gotten used to. And so she might even send him a little text and say, hey Ken, hey Kenny boy, how's your bar mitzvah and your barbecue? Hopefully you had a great time. Now Ken has decided, without even Barbie knowing, right, because he's trying to really attract her, but she doesn't know this. So what he does is, in his mind, he says, I'm doing this for 30 days. I'm going to do this for a month. I'm going to have no contact with Barbie for a month. So at first, remember, we had from 1 to 7 days, Barbie was kind of like, well, I'm okay. I know he's coming back. I know he's just busy. He's got a bar mitzvah, whatever that is. Tell me in the comments. I don't know what it is. And a barbecue. So, you know, he's flat out busy. He's too busy to even send a text for that 7 days. And then from when it gets to 2 weeks, she goes, ooh, now I'm worried, because normally I hear from him at least once a week, and it's been 2 weeks. So she might get upset. She might start feeling some of these emotions here. Anxiety, some kind of emotional pain, sadness, abandonment. You know, she might even start second guessing herself. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe I told a joke that was inappropriate. Maybe I couldn't explain to him what a bar mitzvah was and he thought I was dumb, right? Okay, so remember, Ken's still going on. So it's 2.5 weeks now, and Barbie has become pissed off, because at the point of 2.5 weeks, she's kind of going, well, this is rude. He hasn't even sent me a text back. She might have sent a couple more saying, look, where are you? I'm worrying about you. But now she's angry because, you know, they had something going on, didn't they? And they normally communicated at least once a week. And Ken has decided to stick with this 30-day thing. So we're kind of at 2.5 weeks now. So we're over the halfway point, and this is where Barbie is angry. So she might go and run a marathon. I don't know. She might work on herself. She might do all those things where she's like, well, I'll just focus on me. Okay. Then it gets to 3 weeks, and she goes, I'm actually really afraid of losing him. Like, I'm actually starting to think that maybe this is the end. Maybe he's not coming back. Maybe I really did do something horrible. And then the fear sets in, because then she thinks, wow, I'm really going to do this on my own, and he's not going to be here. He's not coming back. Now, Ken, of course, is having a very hard time because Barbie is extremely sexy, right? And she's always smiling despite what's going on. And he's decided to go the full 4 weeks. And at the 3.5 week mark, Barbie starts thinking, I really hope he contacts me. Okay, she might have thought, well, I'm not going to keep contacting him because that looks a bit needy. But then she goes, I really hope he contacts me. Okay, so stage 1, let's just go through the stages. Stage 1, for the first week, she feels okay because she thinks he's coming back. He didn't say he was leaving. Okay, and this is also what happens to many twin flames. Then at the 2 week mark, she starts becoming worried because of the pattern, the breaking of the pattern, where the cycle of the communication is broken. Stage 3, about 2.5 weeks in, she goes, ooh, hang on a minute, I'm actually starting to not be worried now, but I'm getting angry. Okay. At 2.5 to 3 weeks, she starts to assess the loss and realize that she really misses him. And then, 3.5 weeks to the end of the month, she's starting to really hope and wish that he comes back. Now, what I'm here to tell you today is that unfortunately, many men and women, okay, flip Barbie and Ken how you want. Flip the genders how you want as well. We could be talking about 2 females or 2 males here as well, okay? So use it how it resonates for you. But a lot of people use no contact to their advantage so that they can have this roller coaster of emotion going on for the other person. And the other person might even say what their emotions are. So, in stage 1, they might send a text, I hope you're having a great barbecue and bar mitzvah, right? At stage 2, when they're getting worried, they're like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Is everything okay? I miss you, right? Stage 3 might be, see ya, don't worry about contacting me again, kind of thing. Stage 4 might be this reassessment of the loss, where Barbie might send a text saying, look, I really miss you. Have I done something wrong? She's second guessing herself. And then stage 5, she might even start pleading, please come back. Please, if I've done something wrong, I'll try and fix it. So what I'm trying to say to you is that some people who aren't awake on the twin flame journey, right, who aren't spiritually awake, because remember, not everyone on the twin flame journey is completely awake yet, will use this as a tactic. Okay, so they'll use the no contact as a tactic, and they might do it over a 21-day period, a 3-week period. They might do it over a 4-week period, or they might even take it longer and go for 45 days or longer. So this is a psychological tactic which I would never recommend anyone use unless you're the devil, unless you're Satan, right? Because what you're actually inflicting on the other person is the 5 stages of grief. Okay, it's very similar to what happens when when someone's grieving for a loved one. Okay, as an example, when my nana passed away, I knew, like, ahead of time, I knew she was on the way of leaving Earth, right? And so I was kind of calm. I was like, well, I know it's coming, you know, it's on its way, you know, I'd had a phone call to tell me that it was going to be happening, you know, sort of thing. And then after 2 weeks of her being gone, I started to worry, because then it was like, well, hang on a minute, I may not ever be able to speak to her again. And then it was like, oh, hang on, I won't ever be able to speak to her again. And then, so then I got angry at the 2.5 week mark. You know, obviously time frames differ for people, but then I started getting angry. You know, why did this happen? I really miss her. Okay. And then at stage 4, I started to realize that the fear of that loss was really something that was so heartbreaking, because I could never, you know, could never say what I wanted ever again, or ask her a question or whatever. And then in the last stage, there's that feeling of the hope where, well, one day we'll meet again. You know, maybe I can look at photographs now, or recall memories, or maybe talk to my, you know, some of my family about how beautiful she was, or something, like all my friends about how beautiful she was. Okay, so when someone does this as a tactic, whether that's in a soulmate relationship or a twin flame relationship, I mean, twin flames often go into separation for different reasons, but when someone's doing this on purpose, as an emotional tactic, it's really very cruel. And if you've been on the other end of this, you'll know. So in my opinion, if you don't want to talk to someone for 7 days, let's just say it was 7 days, and, you know, like Ken originally said, I've got a barbecue and a bar mitzvah this week, I'll talk to you next week, right? Then he should come back and talk to her next week. And even say the day. I'll be back on Monday. Okay. If someone is too busy for you, it really does have, that speaks volumes. Okay. Even in the twin flame journey, if someone's too busy for you, that speaks volumes. Okay. So I'm not saying it's their fault if they're in separation, but it is literally like a less than a minute thing to send someone a text. Even if you're not interested, even if you're like, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, I'm not ready for a twin flame crazy ride right now, you can tell the other person. But to do this as a tactic is basically putting the other person through a grieving stage, an emotional grieving stage, because they're in love with you. And it's very cruel. Okay. So this is why I talk about, the last thing I want to just say is that this is why when people talk about detachment in the twin flame journey, I really dislike that word, because if you detach from someone on purpose, you're going to hurt them a lot. You know, if you were coming in with communication and it was regular and you were in and out and it was fairly, you know, you could kind of, I don't know, set your watch on it a little bit, and then all of a sudden that person goes missing, it's really like having, you know, grieving, because you don't know when they're coming back or if they're coming back. All right, so it's nice to let people know what's going on with you as well. Okay, so I'm not blaming Ken completely. We can flip it around, and Barbie could be the one doing the ghosting. I'm going to call it ghosting or detachment. All right. I think too what happens is people get confused about the energetic attachment and detachment. So I don't know how long this video should be really, because I really just want you to know that some people use this as a tactic. So if you think that your twin flame is doing it as a tactic, you're well within your rights to call them out on it and say, you don't have to say, I know, what did I call it? I know that you're psychologically doing the no contact rule with me, you prick, right? You might just say that, hey, listen, if we're going to continue with this relationship, I need to talk to you at least once a week. You know, Monday nights at 5 p.m. is great for me. What's a good time for you? Okay. So even though the twin flame journey is definitely in the spiritual realm of things, we still live in the third dimensional reality. So there still has to be some kind of boundary. If it's hurting you when they go away, you can tell them. You can be honest about it. You can say, look, if you disappear for 2 weeks, this is a deal breaker for me, because if I'm having a relationship, whether that's a friendship or a situationship or a crazy twin flame journey, right? This is what I need. Now, if you decide to do the Magic 20 with me, which is a great thing where you get to ask 20 questions and I answer them on video for you face to face like this. Well, you might not see my face. You'll see all my tools and learning tools that I'm going to teach you. But in the 3D, it's really important what you do in the twin flame journey, just as it is important what you do in the 5D or in the ethereal, or when you close your eyes and meditate, go within. Connect to yourself, to your soul. All right? So I want you to know that if you're doing this tactic on someone, or someone's doing this no contact tactic with you, it's actually really cruel, and it's a psychological tactic that many men and women use in the dating world, right? If he, other things that might come up are, if he doesn't text me for 7 days, I'm going to make him wait 14, right? If he doesn't call me when I ask him to call me, then when he does call me at the allotted time, I'm going to ignore him. All of that stuff is game playing. If you need to use a game or a tactic for someone to love you or to miss you or to be infatuated with you or whatever you want to call it, or a spell or anything like that, then it's not true love anyway. Okay? So if someone's doing this to you and they're not coming back and you don't know why, and they said they were going to, they went on a bar mitzvah or on a barbecue excursion for a week, and then they just ghost you and keep doing that and come in and out and come in and out, all wishy-washy, you call them out on it. And you say, look, if this is going to continue, this is what I need. And literally, you can literally write your needs down. Because otherwise, you're going to grieve over this person all the time. And this can happen in friendships too. You might have one of those friends that, never seems to come back. And when they do, you're so glad that they came back because you thought you'd lost them. But what's the point? Okay? If someone's not going to be real with you, it's not worth it. So this is a really important video here, and I'm going to call it the psychology of no contact in twin flame separation. It's why people end up leaving the journey, because they get to stage 5 where they've got hope of contact and then there isn't any. And they go, well, you know what? F you. I'm going to get on with my life. And some twin flames are well within their rights to do that. And that may sound like it's coming from ego, but it's actually not. because self-love is having boundaries as well. You need to have boundaries. So what is and is not acceptable for you, maybe you could spend a little bit of time writing those things down. What you will and won't accept in any relationship, whether that's a friendship, you know, a family relationship, or a twin flame journey. What is and isn't acceptable to you. And if someone's doing this on purpose as a psychological tactic, then it's really not good. Okay? It's not. The other thing too is this: if you don't want to talk to someone anymore, just tell them. Just say, listen, this isn't working for me. I wish you a great life. You know, you don't have to ghost them. Don't ghost people. Okay, so interesting. I'm just looking at my phone. I just had a comment on one of my videos, which was a negative comment from one of the karmics that watches these videos. And I also want you to know that because the karmics, and they're not all negative, but because of karmics being negative in general, or when they are negative, you can have positive and negative karmics, right? You can have people that help you with your growth and people that hinder your growth. So that's a positive or a negative karmic. Okay, so what will happen is that the karmics use these tactics a lot, and this is where your twin flame or your soulmate may have learnt this tactic. Okay, so just be aware that it's a learned behavior. They've maybe learned it on a dating site, or on a, you know, from their best mate, or from their ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, etc. So just know that any negative comments on my channel will be removed. So there's not really much point putting them on there. If you don't like my channel, I suggest you click off. If you do like my channel, you can like and subscribe and share and all of those wonderful things. Get in contact with me if you like. But yeah, I'll go and check out that negative comment. I just read a little bit of it. That's okay. We get that, don't we? At the best of times. But let me know how this resonated for you, unless it's a negative comment, and then click off. Because I've got boundaries too. Okay, so we all have to have boundaries, whether that's in our love life or in our friendships or in our family life. We've got to have boundaries. And if the other people around you don't know what your boundaries are, let them know. Let them know, so then they can fulfill the boundaries as best they can. I mean, some people can't do it perfectly, but yeah, I've got boundaries, and on my channel any negative comments will be removed. So I'm just letting you know now before you take the time to write it, if if that person's listening. All right, but I love you all so much. Thank you for being here and spreading your light on my channel. I'll talk to you real soon. Have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. Mwah. I love you all so much, even the negative comment writers. Bye. Bye for now. Bye.